Okay everyone, this is Andy, 79Z28. Today I'm going over the new LEE ACP press. This is made mostly for putting primers into your bullets. It can also decap, but you have to buy an adapter assembly, which I did. And I have a few other ideas that I'm working on, so we'll see where this goes. Anyway, the camera might get a little shaky here because I'm trying to get you some close-ups of something, because these were some of the problems that I was having when I unpacked it yesterday. The first thing we're going to do is that gray piece in there, that's your primer chute, okay, which you use one of these is what comes with it. I hate these things, so what I did a while back when I had my LEE desktop primer that I purchased, I decided I hated those things, and I looked around and I found that RCBS makes a unit, and you can see it has an extrusion on it, and that extrusion is very similar to the one that comes with the LEE safety primer kit. You know, that this stupid pouch that everybody hates. Anyway, I had to file this area a little bit to make it so it would fit inside the LEE desktop hand primer, and of course now it fits inside this press, which is in the back. Okay, you can see the top of the chute there, and you just kind of put that in. Okay, now it is a little tight in there. Okay, that's what one of the videos showed when they were putting the white one in, which is giving me a hard time. Of course it's on live, and I don't want to break nothing. I'm one-handing here. Anyway, that fits in there, but as you can see, the button is very hard to get to. There's very limited space. So I elected to go, you try this, which is the RCBS piece. I forget how much it is, 12 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever it was, and just file it down and make it fit. And it's mostly the thickness. This, it's so hard one-handed. The thickness of this is what I filed down a little bit to make it fit. All right, now when I caught this yesterday, first thing I had seen is that chute. You can see this, trying to get a good close-up in there. That chute has space in it, and it looks like it's coming apart. And I thought that was broken. Then after seeing K24's video, and I got a glimpse of his is the same way. So I have to assume that's the way it's supposed to be. All right? So that was my first thing that I thought was broke. Now, I don't know, it's going to be hard to get in here to show it. I'm not sure if I got the light. There is a little torsion spring. You can see I'm trying to point to it right here. Okay, that was not here. This piece was missing when I set it up. So that's why I kind of had to end the video, because I had no clue. Anyway, after tearing through the box that it came in, carefully I should say, I found that little spring laying in the box. So obviously during shipping it popped out, and it's a pain in the neck to install, and you have to get it right. If you notice, that little spring comes on top of this white plastic. Okay, that is to push down here so primers can't fall through. Okay, so now you wind up with this piece here, goes in the bottom. Okay, and what it's got is you take your priming pin, Again, one-handed killing me, trying to get close-ups of this stuff. And you get several of these pieces of plastic here. Okay, you got 3 of them. One is for small primers, one is for large primers, and one is for depriming. All right, so make aware of that. Now also notice, this is not a shell holder, and there is no place to mount the shell holder. And the reason being is this press does not use shell holders, which is very interesting because I'm going to play around with this on the APP press to see if we need to have a shell holder, because this kit, this top piece, I'm taking things apart here, so bear with me. These are some of the little things that I told you I'd tell you about. This piece comes out. Okay, that pin is used to push the case down on the pin that's in, where is it? Pin that's in here, and that's how the bullet gets seated. So it pushes, the primer will be in here. When you pull the handle down, this gets pushed down and pushes the primer up, and it can only seat to a certain depth. It can't go any further than that. Anyway, I'm going to take this apart. Bear with me, I'm one-handed here, trying to give you close-ups. The plastic that's in here is 2 pieces. Okay, I'm going to come over here. As you can see, there's an inner piece and an outer piece. Now, I don't know yet, because I have to play with the APP press to see, compare some things that I didn't look at before. Anyway, turn this over, this has fingers on it, and then this looks like that. So what this does, this sits over like this, and when your brass goes in from the other side, brass gets pushed up, these fingers actually keep your brass centered. And by doing that, you no longer need a shell holder, because it actually helps center the brass. And I'm putting this back together. Now, they make a kit. They make a kit for this. It kind of looks like this, except the end of this will be the capping pin. And you just replace this pin, and then you can decap your brass or deprime it. Everybody has their own. Oops, I knew that's going to happen. Live video, gotta love it, one-handed. Alright, I'm going to just put the camera down for a second and get this piece back mounted in. Okay. Okay, so that's back mounted in now. Alright, now this piece that I was showing you, you put this in just like the regular breech lock bushings. Everything's in the way, of course. You just kind of put it in. I know I'm making everybody dizzy, but this is the only way I can make this video. And you put this in just like a breech lock bushing. Now, you'll see a slot, a groove, a slot, whatever you want to call it, inside that piece. And what you want to do is make sure that this is straight front to back. You might have to turn it a little bit. This is where the primer goes in. And there we go. No, it doesn't look 100% yet. You gotta loosen this a little bit to turn it. Okay, now we're straight. Now it's in there straight. Okay. So those are the quirks and the things that I told you to look for. That spring, the spread in there. Okay, everyone, we're back on. Now I'm going to start up my case feeder. Here come the cases. Okay, the figures, of course. If it'll go wrong, it goes wrong when you're doing a live video. That's why I always keep a pair of tweezers around. Right, I'm going to turn off the case feeder for a moment. And now I put my primers in using the RCBS. Okay, everything's set up, ready to go. And this is how easy it is to prime. Oh, I'm not priming because I forgot to open the chute. Okay. Put these back out. Again, always on live. Okay. Primed. There it is. Perfectly flush. Actually, it's not flush, it's recessed. Okay, just trying to show you. And it takes no effort to push it in. You can feel it when you're doing it. You can see how fast I'm priming. All right, let's turn on the case feeder again. Because and again, you can't push it too far because it only lets you push it down a certain amount. So this is now me priming 9mm cases. Now also, as you're moving the handle with this gray chute spread a little bit, it actually hits the primer thing, which keeps it keeps the primers moving down. Now they tell you when you get down to the last 6 primers, you need to, stop. So now I'm just going to show you. I'm going to take the camera off the stand. So we're going to jump around a little bit again. If you look inside here, you can see the primers in the chute. Okay, so you can visibly watch and know when it's empty. Now the other unique thing about this RCBS piece is, again, like I said, it's nothing to make it work, and it works in anything that uses the LEE piece here. Once you file that in, it works on any piece of LEE equipment that fits into. All right, let's put this back. Okay, I hope you're getting to see the picture good. It's hard to say. Now, the other thing is the LEE product only holds about 100 primers. This one up here holds maybe 300. So you can do a lot more priming without having to refill it. Alright, so now, we're going to look at every piece of brass. You can see how easy it is, and I'm not going fast. I'm just going. Okay. And again, there's no shell holder down here, people. It just automatically centers with that piece of plastic that I was telling you about. Okay, so we did about, I don't know how many pieces here. We're taking a look. I'm just testing for that the primers are all down below. I don't know how good this video is picking up. I can't see the other side. Those are all primed perfectly. Just going to take a few more. Just 3 more. I don't know how well this is coming out, but you can see they're primed perfectly. There's a couple more. Primed perfectly. So as you can see, this actually works very, very good. I had no hiccups whatsoever. Alright, so I don't know what else to show you on this. I might I might add to this video yet. We'll see in a few little while. So that's the second part of this video. Hopefully that helps you. Okay, this starts part 3 of my video. I've loaded up the case feeder. Let's put some more in there, just for argument's sakes. Right now the case feed is not spinning because the brass is in here and it's been turned off by the switch. Okay. So I'm just showing you, and I'm not rushing here. if you're priming a lot of brass, and this will work, I didn't like the way that felt. So let's see. Now it went in, it was a crimped case, a crimped primer pocket, and it went in fine. Okay, so I could feel that. So now, if you can do 223 on here, 30, well, I gotta see. I would imagine, let me just get something. Where are you? This is I'm going to try after let's turn this case feeder off. Let's finish what's in here. My test is to see if a 3006 case, but now that one went in upside down. That happens from time to time. Let's just see something. Yeah, you can do a 3006 case. That's a 3006 case. There's plenty of room, so you can prime up to 3006. I mean, there is a little space in there, but 3006 is pretty much your longest case, so that works. Alright, 3006 cases fit. Let's turn this back on. You can see it's effortlessly. Okay, that's it. The primer, that was the last primer. Okay, so there's a couple that may not have primed. I'm going to have to check that back. Okay. So I was down to the last, yeah. Okay, so now, yeah, I went down, and we're now, yeah, so they're telling you to watch the thing that when it gets down to 6 cases, 6 primers, you could have an issue, which I just had. Okay, so I'm just cleaning out the last couple of primers that are in the tube. Oh, okay. There's more than 6 primers there. Just might have got stuck a little bit. So you just saw a quirk online live. Alright, let me dump these out because I gotta go through those. There might be a couple without a primer. But I check everyone anyway because a primer could go in upside down, sideways, may not seat deep enough, whatever. So you can see I think I'm coming down. Yeah, there's no more primers left inside the primer tray, so we're coming down to the end. Now, you can't see unless you pull the case out of the way if there's primer there. So, I can still see them in the chute. There's still some primers. One more. Yeah, that one had a primer. Now let's check. Alright, now the primers, there's not enough in the tube to force it down, so you have to, I'm maneuvering it. That's why I always keep my little pick handy, and I also keep a set of tweezers handy. That wasn't good, Andy, you didn't have it in there. And that should be it. Oh, still one more. Still one more. So when you come down to the end, the last 6 primers, you could start having some issues. And that one felt a little funky going in. And yeah, it's a crimped case. And that's it. There's still one more primer in there. I can see it. So that seems like you could always wind up with a primer left in there, but you can get it out. I mean, I'm not going crazy here. Matter of fact, if you make a piece of cardboard or something the size of the chute, you could push down at that point and the primer would come out. So that's about all I'm going to do for today. I think this covers it. It works. It does what it's supposed to. Any questions or any comments, please leave them below. Thanks a bunch. Andy, 79 Z28.